Hey everybody, it's Party Elite. Welcoming you back to another episode of our Planet Zoo franchise mode Let's Play. We're going to be diving right back into Elite Zoo North. There is a lot I want to accomplish today. There are so many plans I have in mind, and there's no time to waste. So let's just dive right on in, and as we do go through this loading screen, as always, I just want to mention, folks, you've been enjoying this series, please don't hesitate to let me know by leaving those likes and comments. Not only do I, as I always say, look at those likes and comments as a gauge of interest levels, but I also actually read through all of the comments. You'll always have some great suggestions and thoughts and senses of humor. It's always fun to read through the comments, and I do go through them all, and I try to address them in one way or another, either in writing or in my actions in the following episodes. So yeah, do keep them coming, and again, I look at the number of likes and comments as well, just to keep in mind interest levels for a certain series as time goes on, especially. I want to mention also, by the way, that there's actually a very special video that I released, I guess it would be yesterday at the time of this release. I'll link to it in the pinned comment down below. But it's just a list of games that are coming out in 2020 that I'm hoping to cover. You might be interested in checking it out, so I just thought I'd mention it at the top of this video. Don't want to, again, prolong our introduction because there is a lot I need to get done today. There's a lot I have planned today, a lot of it based on your feedback and a lot of it based on your reactions over the last several episodes, I want to say. Today's goal is going to be Tapir Tavern. That's going to be the primary goal, at least, because many of you have been saying for a while now that this needs to get done, and this has been sitting, doing nothing, looking not pretty. For what, 11 episodes or so, I think it was. So this needs some work, and I finally feel comfortable. I think this session will have enough money that we can go in, and I can actually maybe rebuild the whole thing. I have some big plans for the tavern. I also noticed, by the way, that I actually do have an information center in here. I just completely forgot that it existed. So glad I remembered between the last session when I was planning on putting one down over here and recording this session. But yeah, this is all going to get a huge rework. We're also going to maybe, hopefully, do a bit of a beautification pass across the zoo, get it a bit more densely forested, get some more benches and stuff done. Lots to do. So let's hit play as I go over some of my plans and thoughts, and as I start executing them as well, because as many of you have rightfully pointed out, I spend too much time paused, and that often causes this is a problem. That often causes issues in terms of how much money we make at any in any given session. So let's go ahead and unpause, get time going. Hopefully we'll clean stuff up. Hold on a second. Power source failing. Let's call a mechanic to that as well. And let's go ahead and get Uma researching, sure, Hep A. Why not? I'm not 100% sure which ones I should focus on. So if y'all have any suggestions in that front, let me know, and I will adjust accordingly. We're all good here. We do have an inspector. Tortuga Galapagos, unfortunately, did not do very hot. Why? Is it because of enrichment? Just want to double check this real quick. What I'm looking for, right? Enrichment, yeah. That's fine. It'll be low for a little while. Like I said at the end of last session, it'll be low for a little while, but we will then, replace toys. We'll get into a cycling system, and then we'll be okay. Now, actually, since we're at the Tortoises, I need to remember to get some bedding in here. So let's go ahead and take a look at our terrain. Go ahead and make this into sand. I think it'll look a little bit nicer that way. And let's get ourselves the bedding. It's always the thing about pressing play and doing these things is all the notifications. Honestly, I feel like sometimes they just send me into a panic attack. There we go. We can do something like that. There we go. A little bit more over here. But it looks like we're in a pretty calm time right now. Let's go ahead and say hello to all of these people over here. Make sure we get our conservation credits nice and early. Why not? But sorry, yeah, back to the Tortoises. We've got this done. Now, there was a suggestion to maybe, just to bring some more life into this, add some waterfall effects or something. Oof. That darkness. We will be getting some lighting and stuff set up today as well, hopefully. You know what? Yeah, this I think would be quite nice. Don't have to overdo it, but if we do... Wow, that was a quick inspection. Just do something like this, just to imply there's some water on the other side of it. I think it just brings life to the area. I kind of like it. You know what? I actually really like it. And makes it a more interesting thing to look at. Just this midsection. That wood would rot. Pull it back a bit more. There we go. You can like barely tell it exists from certain angles, and then from other angles it's blatantly obvious. I wish it worked a little bit better, if I'm completely honest, if I do that. I guess I'll have to accept that. Put one over there. But, well, these are expensive. Now the top is too much. Put one over here. There we go. Tuck you in a little bit. Just a little bit of something to make this area a bit more special. Send you up a bit more. There we go. And plus it kind of ties, just gives a sense of, like, again, nature exists over here, you know, rather than just this massive construct. This plaza seems like it has a purpose. Where do we get our, there we go, midsection. And just tuck you back in as well. There we go. I wonder, it's really, the placing of these things can be really weird at times in terms of how it generates the particles and stuff. Because I'll be honest right now, it's not exactly what I had in mind, but I don't think I can do exactly what I had in mind. A little bit higher there. A little bit further back. Yeah, can't do exactly what I had in mind, but I like this too. This is fine. Just something more interesting to look at when you walk by over here. As you go and check out the tortoises. All right, fair enough. Sorry, I got distracted there. I shouldn't have got distracted there. It was pointed out, though, as well, that I've left some vines here hanging. So we should fix that real quick. But it was because tortoises were getting caught under this tree. So what I can do is, let's see, if I move you over to here, then I can move you. Well, rather, let's not move you. Let's rotate you. And you can see that that tree positioning did not really work out for one of my tortoises, at least. Something like that. And then adjust you again a little bit. There we go. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Again, like I said, y'all notice things in the comments sometimes that just slip by me, which is one of the main reasons I like reading them. Now, why are you hungry? Okay, a keeper hasn't come through. Oh, you know what? I think I hadn't adjusted. No, keeper's coming every month. That's about as often as they can come. Not much I can do there. All right, fair enough. And then I also need to check the work zones real quick. Just going through my list of to-dos before I get into real crazy time-lapsing and stuff. Again, like I said, there's a lot of plans today, and I'm going to try and make sure we make some money before we dive into them so I don't have to stop because of financial issues. What am I looking for? Work zone. So let's see. What do we have that isn't in a work zone? Let's just really quickly check over here. So America's East, you're fine. America's North, I believe we need to add you. And other than that, we're fine. Okay. America's South, I need to add you to. There we go. Yep. And I think that way we've got everything covered. Arctic doesn't matter. India entrance, yeah, we're good. Cool. Cool. So that's that taken care of. And one last major thing that I hadn't noticed. It seems that our Brazilian wandering spider here is actually... Oh, she finally passed away. I was going to say she's actually a black widow because she had survived so many mates and just made babies. So she was a bit of a black widow. You know, yes, pun entirely intended and entirely stolen from the comments. So thank you. Again, like I said, y'all are funny. So let's go ahead and get ourselves a replacement Brazilian wandering spider. A female. How old are you? You're a young adult. I wish I could like hover over and just see the age. I'll just take something that looks similar enough. Alejandro is a male. Sylvia, those are decent stats. Yeah, let's go with Sylvia here. Pretty cheap as well. Pop you in there. And you are the mommy. There we go. Done. So that should make life a little bit easier. Do we have any offspring over here that we can maybe get rid of? No, looks like we are. What's the alert here? Pregnancy, okay. Oh, hello. Logan and Embre, I think, is how that's pronounced. I'm not 100% sure. Go ahead and trade y'all out. Nice, another 2,000 made easy. And let me just quickly check how that last inspection went before it's too late. 4 stars, that's unfortunate. So Tapir and Tortuga Galapagos. Okay, what's wrong with Tapir? I'm guessing that's also a enrichment thing. Yeah, like I said, it's temporary and it's a bit unfortunate, but it is temporary. Now we are toying with 2,000 visitors. I don't know if we crossed it earlier, but we're right there, toying with the number 2,000. So that's really exciting to see and consider as a potential for today. Bet research complete. More power source failing. I need to figure that out. Ep A, 1 step done. Power source, call a mechanic here. Oh, it's this one. Yeah, this one typically is under-serviced because it's so far away and I'm not really taking care of it properly. But that's fine. Now, there were a lot of suggestions with regards to our front area over here. One is maybe I should make the train go through here instead. And that is, you know what, I really like that as a suggestion. Make this a train station so that people can actually, or would actually come up here. They have a reason to come up here. So I'm going to leave that for later, though. When we actually work on our trains, I will get that going. I just wanted to touch on it today, just so y'all can remind me that it's what I said I was going to do over here to make sure I actually saw some activity, but also to let y'all know that I saw the comment and I like it and I'm going to try and implement it. But I'm waiting until the trains are actually going to be up and running again before we do that, because otherwise there's no real point. I don't know if I'll wait until the Arctic zone is up and running, or if I'll kind of do like a loop from here down to here, across and around. And hopefully that'll generate enough business. But with that said, there were some interesting suggestions that I still want to implement up front over here. And again, like I said, I want to try and do some things outside of a time lapse before we dive into the time lapse, mainly because I want to keep money generating. I obviously cannot, as much as I'd love to, I cannot keep the game playing while I'm time lapsing because too much time would go by. Too much time would go by. There was a suggestion of getting the fountain jet upside down. Nah, that doesn't work. It was a good thought, but that doesn't work. We're going to have to go with a waterfall. And what I might do is, rather than have the whole thing, I might do the midsection only, like I did under Tortuga Galapagos, under the plaza. So, midsection 0.5 might do the trick here. Let's see. I nudge you out a little bit. Okay, you know what? Not terrible. Oh, you know what? That actually looks quite nice. Well, except for the fact that this thing is sticking out there. So we do something like that. Cool. And we'll get you over there, and we'll get another one over here. I just think it brings the front area to life a bit more. If I could get this to work, I'd be really happy. Again, something about the way these effects are generated that I'm just not a fan of. Okay, let's do that, right? And we'll move, I think we'll move this rock back a little bit. There we go. That'll let us see this a bit more. Just a little something. Just a little something. All right. So that's that. Wow, we're at 42K. Money is not an issue anymore. Money has stopped becoming an issue, which is great to see. And actually, on the topic of money not being an issue, now, see, this is just not working. It clips to the side over here. I mean, again, I could adjust this. I could pull you out a little bit, nudge you over like this, and hide the water that's coming out this side. We could do that, and then I could just duplicate you up a little bit there. Like cutting my nose off to spite my face, it feels like, you know. All right, now one thing that was suggested that I want to try as well, I don't know how well it'll work here, but it might work nicely underground. I wish you could set lights to always be on. Ooh, we could try it over here. I think it would look really nice over here, actually. Let's try it. So what was suggested was backlighting these waterfalls. I'm really curious how that would look. I don't know which light will provide the most light, as it were. Well, let's try. I think the wall lamp works pretty well for this. So let's see. If I manage to tuck you up here, right, and I turn you around like this, and I pull you right back. I just want to see what it looks like out over here, and then we can adjust where else we apply it. Because I do want to get our lighting and stuff going. I do want to have our zoo open at night. So let's see if we can't do that. So let's make you blue. I think it'd be nice at night to have that glow blue, but once the night hits, I'll try and pause it so we can actually see what that ends up looking like. Now, apart from that, with all that done, let's go ahead and get some benches down, because this has been a problem for a long time. Actually, before I get the benches down, I think I need to adjust this path, because it is getting congested and it is becoming a problem. So let's see if the pathing system will cooperate with me. Do I really want to cancel all this path right now when there's so many people coming through? Also, in the snow, the snow is really annoying because it covers everything, and it's like you can't tell the staff path from the grass. But what I would do is I would get the staff path coming in from... Like, we've already got it coming in from over here. Wonder if I would just have it attached over there. And widen this a little bit. Because I don't think... Yeah, this doesn't reach all that far, so we could widen the path a bit more. We'll push the washrooms back perhaps a little bit. I think it'd probably be a good idea. Well, while we're waiting for this path to clear up a little bit, and while we're waiting for the snow to clear up a bit as well, why not go ahead and put down some more education facilities? So let's go ahead and... where are we? At the education boards. And I think many of you that were pointing out the situation up front were right, where we used to have the speakers and stuff over here, but now that they're gone, people aren't getting education immediately as they enter or exit the zoo, and that's what's affected our education rating. So we can fix that pretty easily. We've got a pretty nice setup that we can tuck our things into over here. Do something like that. Pretty nicely tucked in. One there. Obviously don't want it to be blocked. Do that. Do I get a third one? I can get a third one. Something like that. Yep, that works for me. That works for me. And then we can set them all to 3 different things. So we've got, let's say, deforestation is a serious problem as you walk in and see all the log cabin style decoration. Ecotourism makes sense up front, I think. And, why not land sharing versus land sparing? I don't know why I like that one a lot. I just do. Oh, and look, yeah, people are stopping right away to get educated. I just want to check really quickly. Can we actually get them to donate as well? I'm not sure if these things elicit as much donations, but there's only one way to find out. Let's go ahead and tuck you in there. And that should help with education. As people come through and as they leave, that should help our education rating a fair bit. Looks like it already has, actually. Nice, all right. Very cool. I don't necessarily like this sticking out the way it's sticking out. Well, When you look at it like this, I don't mind it. Yeah, when you look at it like this, I don't mind it. These waterfalls on either side. People stuck over here, but let's not mind them. Pretty good. All right, pretty good. Pretty good. Wow, this just got even more crowded. There's never going to be a good time to do this, is there? There's never going to be a good time. All right, well, let's go ahead and pause it because I want to adjust these paths. So let's go ahead and pause it while I do that. So let's see. If I were to get rid of you, we'd still have access from up over here. It would make this stuff a little bit farther. I could make access over here. No, I want it to be wider. Let's undo all. Let's just get rid of all this. We've seen it cause us issues, so why hesitate? Is what I'm thinking. Why hesitate? So we're gonna have to move some of this stuff back. Gonna have to move the washrooms back. Oh, it's so crowded over here. Like, not just in terms of the guests, but also in terms of, like, the stuff I've put down. Just move you over temporarily. Over to there. I can move them back afterwards. I can move you over and in a little bit. This light, I don't know if it's going to be able to stay here. Let's move you out to here as well. We'll make adjustments as we go along. Okay, so first of all, it's toilet block. Everything around it. Let's just group it up together, shall we? You are, yes, one group. We're gonna move you. Well, we're gonna move you away. Over here for now. All right, this is gonna be a fair bit of work. But I think it's necessary work. So let's start from right over here. I want to make sure. See, it's a little concerning because of how the pathing system works, that it's not going to translate properly. Like, it's not going to do what I need it to do. I'm really worried about that. For example, like, I want it to expand on one side, not on both sides, but that's obviously not how this wants to work. I want to do something like that. But then I can't connect it to this because the game's goofy like that. I'd have to adjust the habitat. Otherwise it'll count as obstructed. Ah, okay. And then even then over here, I don't know how well it'll behave. I can do this. I do... Oh, wow. Huh, it actually does that. Actually does that now. Oh, come on, game. Okay, cool. So we can connect to this. Good, good. I see you. I see you. Thank you. That's a new update. So let's see. It connects to this area. This area is kind of funky. Like, let's see if we do... Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and undo everything here. Because we've... I want to make sure everything's within undo range, so to speak. Okay, this we can redo. And I'm going to do a very quick and short time lapse over here. Probably with no commentary if it's a short one. Just music while I deal with the pathing issues. Let's, yeah. Let's do this real quick. All right. I mean, that ended up being a lot longer than expected. That was actually 20 minutes of struggling and fiddling with the paths over here, but I think that'll be well worth it. Let's go ahead and hit play and let the game recalculate its pathing and stuff. But yeah, this should make for... Oh, wow. That's how it works now. They don't just immediately disappear. They disappear after you unpause. Fair enough. It used to be that even when you were paused, they would just despawn. But it looks like they're all popping through the entrance all over again. I see. I see. Fair enough. Fair enough. We haven't lost any guests, but we have, you know, sort of pushed them back a little bit. Not the end of the world, though. I feel like this much larger movement area is going to make a huge difference. As many of you have pointed out already, it was causing some congestion, so that should help alleviate some stress on this side, and we've made sure to keep the negative impact away from all of our guests, and hopefully our caretakers will be able to move through cleanly as well, so that they can, well, clean. And we might eventually, actually, before I expand too much over here, I might consider widening the path on this side as well. But yeah, I think the next step is, as soon as the rain stops and we get some sunny weather, I'm going to do a bit of a beauty pass, because we've been sitting on that for a while. I want to do a beauty pass, and then I'm going to do a Tapir Tavern pass as well. I want to try and do both today. The beauty pass will include me putting benches and bins down everywhere, because it seems like the lack of, the lack of bins, we've already seen how much of a problem that causes. But the lack of benches is causing energy issues as well, and I don't know if it's still as much of a problem. In particular, energy, it's gotten better, but energy was a bit of an issue earlier. I mean, let's see. Yeah, you know, it's nowhere near full. Like, education and toilet is doing better than our energy level, and to get energy, all we need to do is put down a bunch of benches, and that's really not that much effort or time. So we're going to do that when the sun comes up. In fact, I mean, I could do some of it while we're, you know, in play mode over here, even though it's raining and kind of gloomy. Add some more benches along the way over here. Just give people the chance to sit down and relax. Maybe relax underneath the Inukshuk. You know, one thing I wish the game had, as I come up to this, I wish the game had. This is gonna sound cheesy, but so my day job before I went full time on YouTube, I worked in the ad world. And this has become an extremely popular thing that you do now with events or with spaces. And you might have started noticing this at like zoos and museums and things like that, because it's become a very common thing. But something you do is you make things that appeal to selfies. And because people, they come to your zoo or whatever, or your museum, and they take a selfie, they throw it up on Instagram or Twitter, and they put a location, you know, pin down. It's basically free advertising. And it works great, because people like posting selfies and whatnot. So I would have loved to see something like that implemented into Planet Zoo. And I was actually thinking about it before the game released. I was like, I wonder if they'll take that into consideration, because there's all this, like the game already takes into consideration beauty levels of stuff. Scenery ratings. So I was like, I wonder if it'll take into consideration opportunities like, oh, you know, you've created a nice space that people might want to take those kinds of pictures in and stuff. I don't know. It was just something that for some reason came to mind right now as I was putting that bench down by the Inukshuk. Anyway, sun is up. We're at 50K. Am I feeling comfortable with going in for a beauty pass? I think so. Now with the beauty pass, what I want to do is I want to get lighting going. I want to get benches, bin, lighting. Fix this area up, and just a couple other tweaks here and there. Complete this. Yeah, there's a fair bit to do, which is why I want to make sure I had enough room as far as my finances were concerned. So it's like back-to-back time lapse. This is going to be a pretty heavy episode. I hope it ends up being the right length, because after time lapsing and editing, it ends up being shorter, obviously, than my actual recording time, and I can only record so much before getting exhausted. Obviously, let me just do a really quick check on one thing over here. I want to see. What did I want to see? I want to see guest needs. I want to see happiness. Things are looking okay. I want to catch what the needs are. View of the Timberwolf. Snow. That's all stuff we'll be fixing later. Umbrellas. What do you want? Rain. Okay. Toilet block doesn't cost too much. It's $1. It's less than $1, I thought. We're fine. All right, you know what? Oh, God, of course. Sun's setting. Well, it's about to. Or it's clouds passing over. Now it looks like the sun's setting. I want it to be bright and sunny and clear when I'm doing all the beautification. However, I do want to see... where are we? The sun has set. How does this look? Does this actually work? This is with the backlighting in there. I move it away. It doesn't really get all that bright, unfortunately. Like, what if I change it to a different color? Let's see if I make it red. See, the lighting, this is an engine thing. The lighting doesn't actually affect the particles. It affects everything around the particles, but doesn't affect the particles itself. Now, with that said, it does still look quite nice with the light kind of spilling up top there. Do not dislike the look at all, actually. Feels like light's bouncing off, you know, something. But is there... This is actually perfect timing. This is actually perfect timing, because I want to check, is there a better light that I can use? Like, is there something that's brighter? Like one of these panels, right? If I put this down over here instead... A lot brighter, right? What if I make you blue? Is that better? I don't think that's any better. Undo that. I do like the look of it, though. It's good to know that it exists. What about one of you? A big sphere over here? Put you back over here? Nah, it's too obvious, I think, is a problem I have with it. Yeah, it's too obvious. It feels mechanical and like it doesn't belong. Where is our... there we go. And I got rid of our light by mistake. Thing is, those are brighter, though. Those are brighter. Tube light. I got a tube light in here. Rotate you like so. Again, I just want to run these tests at night so that when I'm putting my lighting down, I know what to kind of expect as far as their behavior is concerned. I do that. Okay, that's right. I don't like that the light clips through. They need to get better at... that needs to be better handled. This, though, I'm liking how this looks. Now, see, the moment it becomes blue, it becomes so dull. If it's white, it's nice and bright. If it's yellow or green, it's pretty nice. Red is pretty nice. I guess blue just kind of blends in. Part of the problem. All right, well, let's try this. I do like how that tube looks. Oh, but a lot of the effect is coming out of this, actually. Well, you know what? Let's do this instead, then. Oops. Come on now. There we go. Duplicate you over. And if I duplicate you over again this way, like super bright. You know what? I don't mind that, actually. Let me see how it looks if I tilt you downwards. Doesn't really make a difference tilted downwards. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Now, over here, I'm curious as to what colors I want these to be. White makes sense. This is very, very dim. Very dim. Like, okay, I guess if you have enough of them. I want to make sure I light up the exhibits as well, of course. There's got to be nicer looking lights. There's got to be nicer looking lights. I mean, there are nicer looking lights, but do they fit? These are path lights. Okay, let's see how these look. Let's see how these look. Okay, I don't mind that. Looks nicer than having a giant thing like this. What about one of these? A little clunky looking, but still not bad. Also a path light. That's barely lighting anything up. Spotlight. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay, hold on. Sorry, I'm getting maybe distracted by the lighting, but this is something we've talked about me needing to do for a while. Oh, wow, that is vibrant. That is bright. I like it. That is really bright. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. So let me check something here. If I get one of you... Point at the... Oh... Okay, interesting, interesting. Very bright, though. Extremely bright, like blindingly bright. What I like about this is it kind of like mimics moonlight a little bit. I wonder if I could... Oh, I really like the spotlight. wonder if I could... I don't want to bother the animals either, but if it's dark enough... it could feel like moonlight. So let's see. Get it pointing in the right direction first. Definitely going to be doing some spotlight work. Okay, so the fall off is pretty great. Like, it's pretty massive, so that's good. That's good. That means distance will make a big difference. Whoa, okay, that's super bright. That's not moonlight. Alright, well, I've got my answer. I've got my answer as to how the spotlight looks. Cool. Sorry, just messing around a little bit over here. Alright, we're going to use, I think... No, these are wall lights. Sculpture trunk. Is that a light? Oh, fancy. Very fancy. Stadium lights. What is with all these really bright lights? Okay, actually, the stadium light back here might work better. If I nudge you back here. Let's see how that works. Nah, it just kind of creates this haze, which I'm not the biggest fan of. Yeah, it just kind of makes this hazy kind of a look. That doesn't make sense. Sure. Oh, sorry. I should undo, not just delete. You make more money back when you actually undo. All right. So what I think I'll do is I'll get I think my favorite type of lighting on the ground. Oh, I like these as well. These are cute. But no, I think my favorite type was this. It's a little clunky, but this I don't like the shape of this one. I almost prefer these path lights. You put them down every so many meters. I wish... I wonder if... Nope. Because I'd like it to be equidistant, but that's not seeming very likely. That's, you know, close enough. Close enough, I guess. Put these like so. It's gonna become a nightmare real fast, especially when we get to these trees and stuff, of course. I like how it looks, though. It's not too, like, intrusive or anything. What I could do is... Nah, I don't like that. I was gonna say I could, like, maybe hide it into the posts. Could line it up with them, though. That I do prefer. Just kind of blends in a bit more nicely, I think. Get one in here. There we go. Zoo's getting a little bit brighter. A little bit brighter. Want to make sure I don't block the donation area. It's crazy how dark the game actually gets. And at least it's not as dark as it used to be. Not as dark as it used to be. It's a start. There we go. I need to get into daylight so I can time lapse this. And actually, let me know when you guys and how you guys would like me to do the lighting. Because I definitely need to get it done. Definitely need to get it done. I figure I'm on a roll right now. It's a weekend episode. I've got more time than usual to record a little bit today. It's just a matter of making sure I don't burn out and get tired in the middle of the recording session and have to stop. Because that's how you get unfun episodes, when it's a person who's tired making the episode. I don't want that to happen, but I also have found this opportune moment. I'm on a roll. I'm just kind of like, let's get it done. Talking about this for so long. Oh, that looks so pretty. That looks so pretty. Okay. So now we don't have railings and stuff over here. Got some over here. Use these as reference. I like using them as reference because then we kind of get them equidistant. At least to a degree. There we go. Another one in there. Well, that one's too close. Like I said, to a degree. All right, and they're definitely prettier than these hunking things, but these things are brighter. They have a bigger range, I guess. Change the color of the body. It just looks tacky, you know? Dirty, even. What if I get rid of you? Wow, yeah, these things are a lot brighter. A lot brighter. Do that. Go ahead and duplicate you. Over there. And over here. Brighten the area up a little bit. Get you. Man. What a world of difference this makes, eh? Just brightening the zoo up a little bit. Get you. Let's get a couple of them over here, I think. Yeah, these are a lot brighter. Tacky as they might look. They're a lot brighter. There we go. One more over here in the trees. There we go. And then one more. All right, I think I'm done with lighting for now. I think I've done enough of it. I wonder, I mean, it's still kind of dark, too dark to play in the dark. I can always use, if I press L, you get a bit of a light. I guess that's pretty bright. We can extend our hours. Let's go ahead and do that. Go ahead and extend our hours. Ever so slightly. I think we can stay open until 8 now, and maybe open at 6. That was my main reason for doing that. And we're up to 4.5 stars again, so maybe we can go up to 35 and 32. Let's try it. Let's see if people start complaining about the price. All right, let's go ahead and hit play. Wait, one last thing I want to check, sorry, before I do hit play. Let's turn our light off. Our massive light. I wanted to check how this might look. Again, I apologize for how long I've spent doing this. It's just, I hope I hope you can tell that it's because I'm excited. And if you ask me, that's a good oh my god, that's a good reason to get caught up in something like this. All right, so that doesn't work exactly how I wanted it to. Let's see if I pull you back far enough. Nah, that's too bright. The spotlights are way too bright. Would have been nice, though. Would have been nice to get the spotlights going. Like, I wonder if... Oh, you know what? Spotlights could look nice over here. Where are we? These path lights as well. So many options, and I like it. I like the options. You've got that over here. We got the stadium light going. Okay, okay. Get you to a nice, like, kind of a blue, maybe. Or maybe a red. This is the food area, right? The water doesn't look good under the red. To be fair, it doesn't look good under any of this volumetric lighting. Yeah, it just doesn't look like water anymore. That's too bad. I might not be able to use these like I wanted to. Oh, there's a smaller one, area light. Still not that great. Still not that great. And if I turn this around, watch, it's just gonna be blindingly bright. Kind of. A little bit. Okay, let's get rid of that. All right, you know what? Let's go ahead and hit play. We'll do more lighting stuff later. I don't want y'all to get bored. But yeah, if we're open a bit longer, hopefully we'll spend more time in the dark and we'll be able to see how the lighting actually looks and works and feels. And we can adjust accordingly when we're doing other builds and whatnot. It's nice to finally have the lights out, though. At least a little bit, right? Like when you... it feels like a bit of an airport, actually, with all these lined up lights. But I think it's nicer to at least have a start on that, because we've waited so long. We waited so long. What are we looking at over here? It stays dark for quite a while. stays dark for quite a while. Maybe I don't want to be open that late. Or that early. Do we end up hitting 2K? I don't think so. I'm just waiting for the sun to come up now so we can start time-lapsing. In the meanwhile, I'll fix anything I can catch over here. And why not take a moment to look at some of our animals? Thirsty. Well, Keeper should be coming here shortly, hopefully. And Pedro is thirsty as well. Well, you're literally right next to one of these things. So I don't know what you want from me. Don't know what you want from me. What I could do here... What I could do is I could add... See, the thing about the darkness is that the habitats, the enclosures aren't lit up just yet. So I feel like I'm robbing the guests when they come in at night. But at the same time, I also feel bad about just lighting up the animals, you know? Don't want the festive lights. I guess the festive lights are the better size. No, don't want to do that. It's barely a light. That's hardly even a light. Guess I could do a tube underneath this thing. See how it looks. Ow, it's too late for the lighting, I think. Yeah, lights are turning off, but in comes the snow. If it's not one thing, it's another, right? If it's not one thing, it's another. All right, well, let's do a quick pass and see how our animals are feeling. I wonder if we're able to bring back some of their older toys now to make them happy. So let's do that really quickly while the snow is still falling. Where are we? Habitat. Tortoises. Tortoise. I don't know why I'm having an impossible time pronouncing that word right now. So let's see. What do they have? They've got their dog ball feeder, their frozen fruit block. Bring back the fruit spike trees. Okay. Get one there. One over here. Yeah, see, it's really not helping all that much. I think they're still... No, they're happy. It says it's in good condition and animals enjoy using it, so they're not bored of them. I guess they just don't have enough is the other thing. Because there are so many tortoises. That could be it as well. That could be it as well. But this is seriously chump change in terms of the difference it's making. We're gonna drop a couple more of you down. Gotta unbox that tortoise. Put you down like over here. 65%. There we go, 70%. Put another dog ball down. Only got one of the dog balls, so let's go ahead and put one down, say over here. 73%. Okay, I'm okay with 73% for now. I also want to get some more toys in here. Can we bring the sprinklers back? Yes, yes we can. One sprinkler does the trick, it looks like. Good stuff. Good stuff. Now let's go ahead and unbox you up over here, unfortunately. I don't know why that happened. I'm wondering if this is still... There's too much room back here for them to get stuck. I think that's when it happens, when they get stuck. Completed. A little bit of research. Keep that going. Fine over there. Now the suggestion has come up that I put my polar bears into a different franchise zoo. Just so that I don't have people thinking I still have polar bears in this zoo. I don't know how I feel about doing that. Feels... I don't know. It would be the smart thing to do. It feels a little cheesy, I guess, but it is the smart thing to do. We have an active loan? What? It's repaid. We're done. Do not have an active loan. I haven't had an active loan in forever. Back off. All right. Trying to tell me I have an active loan. All right, lots of people over here again. Why are you not going over here instead? People really don't care for the hot drinks, do they? People really don't care for the hot drinks. I might just have to duplicate some of the drink stalls over to this side, because this is crazy. A food stall and a drink stall, perhaps? Why would you not come up over here? This area has become pretty empty. Fools. You fools! Alright, we'll deal with that in a bit. Right now, I think it's time-lapse time, folks. As we dive in, we're going to do a bit of a beauty pass. There's a couple things I want to clean up. I don't know how complete it's going to be, but definitely want to go over some things, some elements, and clean things up here and there. Just a lot of little details. So let's not waste any more time. Let's dive on in. Welcome to another episode of Party Elite Doesn't Realize How Long Things Are Actually Going to Take to Do. This time-lapse ends up being a lot longer than expected. I think it was actually an hour or so of raw footage that I cut down. Anyway, it's a lot of work, and I'm really happy with how things end up as a result of it. Hopefully y'all are as well. As always, if you have any thoughts that you'd like to see implemented or would like to just suggest in general, let me know down below. So you'll see the first thing I did was I went around and added a bunch of benches. The second thing I'm doing over here is I'm getting rid of the canopy that we've all kind of had issue with for a while. I think even when I finished it, I mentioned right away that I kind of didn't like how it looked very Africa themed. And I think many of you agreed. So we got rid of that, and we're actually replacing it with some of the Arctic themed pieces because, again, it kind of makes sense in terms of the region we're in. I like the color of the wood and stuff as well, and I like some of the pieces it brings. So you can see me kind of messing around with some initial ideas, but overall, basically, I use these pieces because I like their look a lot better. Getting rid of the old fencing piece as well at the same time. I want to basically create a more cohesive look between the covering, basically the canopy, and the barrier as well. So redoing this whole thing, and it's kind of weird actually to go back to something that's been the same for so very long and make adjustments. But I think it was. It's been a long time coming, let's put it that way. I decided to also implement lighting. I try to integrate lighting wherever possible because now that we've got the money and we've also got our zoo open later as well, I figure I might as well tackle that at the same time. Kill two ravens with one stone, as the case might be. But you'll see with all the construction stuff I do today, I implement the lighting as well. So yeah, just making some slight adjustments here and there, making sure that I'm happy with one single piece first before I start duplicating it. And you'll see then I go, okay, it's going to be all or nothing. We're going to select all the pieces and just trash them, get rid of them. And then you can see I adjust the train and stuff a little bit as well. All this stuff that I've left sort of unattended for a very long time. I'm finally spending the time to catch up on and complete. Feels really good. There's almost this catharsis starting the new year with all this work getting done. So I hope y'all have been enjoying seeing it get done finally. So yeah, just making sure that the terrain blends a bit more nicely into the wolf enclosure. And we actually make some very big changes to that in a moment's time as well. After I'm done the canopy and whatnot, I go... I think it's after I finish the canopy, I get pretty intense with how I adjust things. But you can see over here, I start duplicating the single piece. Now, the unfortunate thing is that there aren't short enough pieces that you can make bends and curves. I would have loved it to have some curves and stuff as well, but unfortunately that's not an option. So I make do with harder edges, but I do a little bit of overlapping where necessary to make sure that it still feels like one piece. Like it doesn't feel like multiple pieces just sort of stacked against each other. I also use the edges there of those blocks to guide the distance between the lighting. Just figure I might as well use that to keep it consistent. Consistency is very nice. And moving that K around actually was a very weird feeling. Again, that thing has been static for ages. It's been really strange moving some of these pieces around, looking back at some of the starting things that we've done for our zoo. But feeling pretty good about this new barrier. It feels a bit more clean. It feels a bit more safe as well. Like you can't just trip over it and fall in. Pretty happy with it. On the other side, I decided not to replace it because on the other side we have the regular path barrier, and I felt like that was enough, so I didn't need to add the Arctic style barrier to that side as well. And plus it's kind of nice because we've got the Arctic style stuff on one side, and then it becomes the actual sign for Wolf Rock, then it becomes that fallen tree log, and then it becomes rock. So I feel like there's this nice kind of transition of textures and colors and all happening. So I was pretty happy with that. And then you can see over here as well, again, just adding some more rocks to try and get this to feel a little bit more nice, I suppose. I just didn't like how the terrain and the rock features were blending, so just messing around with that a little bit, maybe a little too much, but that's what happens when I have money at my disposal. And you can see it's going to get pretty wild in a second. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I do it before the the canopy. So you can see I put in a bunch of these giant rocks. I'm like, it'd be really nice if it actually felt like you were going deep into a cave rather than just like into a hole in the ground. So I wanted to build this I wanted to build that tunnel entrance to be much larger using these giant rocks and then pulling the terrain around it to actually make it feel like it blends a bit more nicely. I'm actually really happy with how it's turned out, and I decided to do it on this side as well because I might as well do it on both sides, keep it a little symmetrical. And eventually when I build that memorial, because yes, the memorial is still being planned, that'll be its own little thing though, that will take some time to execute if I can execute it the way I want it to. I want it to have this like kind of majestic centerpiece feel. And you can see again this area as well, just above that wolf resting place. I try to raise the terrain there as well. I'm a lot happier with how this looks now. It feels a lot more natural. It feels a lot more like an actual cave kind of a situation rather than just, again, a hole in the ground, because that's what it felt like earlier. And so because I like it so much, I decided to pull that same kind of look and feel over here as well, where people can enter the food court from behind the bears. And again, same thing over here, pull the terrain up, get those giant rocks to act as guidelines, and then get some more giant rocks to seal off the gaps over here. Again, these are all things that I've been meaning to do for a very long time, so it's nice to go in and just get some of them done finally. And here as well, I try to figure out, like, what do I want to do for lighting? You can see I spent like just a moment on that, and then I go, nothing really works here in my mind just yet, so maybe I'll come back to it later. Then I think it's finally time for me to start building, yes, the canopy kind of a thing. So again, I wanted to use the Arctic themed pieces. I did not like the obviously Africa look of the thatched roof. So instead I'm going with some wooden coverings, and I'm pretty happy with how this looks actually. I'm really curious actually what you guys think, because this took a lot of time to build using those Arctic roof pieces and the Arctic pillars and whatnot to build a custom shape over here. And I think it looks pretty like epic. I'm using that word in its kind of classic sense. It's very large. It makes a statement almost. So I'm pretty happy with how it looks, but I am curious to hear what you guys think. This first draft, as you can see, I was hoping to use the blocks in this stacked way, so it's like the stepped way, and then at the top it becomes a flat roof, and then you've got covering over there. And then I realized that I don't think the game will understand that when it comes to its physics simulations. So instead I duplicate those arcs, and I use that as the overall canopy. And then I use the same wooden pieces from that Arctic pack to create a little bit of breakage in the repetitiveness, create some support beams, if you will. Pretty happy with how that looks. And I also use one of the eaves over here to just give the inside a bit more variety as well. And I think we also, I know for sure we implement some lighting as well. Like I said, I try to integrate lighting now into the architecture whenever possible. We've got the money and we want to be open later, so I do try to keep that in mind. And I think before we go on, I add these little blocks at the bottom over here just to make it blend into the floor a bit more nicely, into the ground a bit more nicely. Otherwise, just, I don't know, it doesn't feel right. You can see I go in, make a group out of this, and I duplicate things over just to get a look at how it feels from a distance, and I don't think I'm satisfied with it just yet. I realize that I need a bit more breaking in that repetitive texture, so I duplicate these a little bit, and I try to mess around with some interesting shapes, but again, they're not curved, they don't fit flush to the curve of that arc, so I decide not to do that. I try to experiment with some more options here as well. Again, just to see how we can break the texture, break the repetitiveness, because that tends to be my biggest issue with these custom built pieces because of the repetitive texturing. Anyway, pretty happy with how this looks. I decided to duplicate it, and I extended beyond what I was initially planning, so I actually have to adjust the bins down there as well. But overall, that feels like it feels a lot better to me with regards to how it fits into the aesthetic of the area, at least. Again, the Africa area that we're going to build soon will have all those thatch roofing elements and stuff, but this works a lot better, in my opinion, for the Americas / Arctic kind of a look and feel. So yeah, pretty happy with how that went. And then, inspired by the success of that, I decided to get rid of the canopies over here. I'd been meaning to do that for a while, but now I finally got an idea of how I want it to look. Trying something a little, I don't know, goofy or silly or weird. The inspiration for this, I suppose, is at Toronto Harbourfront. There is this piece of the Harbourfront boardwalk where it gets this really wavy kind of a look. If you want to look it up, that'll give you an idea of what I was like looking at for a reference. It's between that and something else that I had once seen. I don't know if it's the Art Gallery of Ontario or if it's a a building near it. I can't remember now, but a lot of like curved shapes and stuff. So just pulling reference from that and trying to build, well, not pulling reference, but I have that in my mind's eye, and I'm trying to do something similar without actually replicating it. So you can see I've got that curved canopy up front, and on this side we're actually curving back up. I actually really like how this shape looks and the flow of this shape overall with this. I don't even know how to describe it. It's got just like this flowy feel to it. It felt right. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm crazy, but it just felt nice. And it was different from anything else we'd done. And again, you can see here I'm trying to figure out how exactly I want to integrate the lighting. So I'm trying to use green for the tortoises, I guess. Not sure why. Now, the thing is, those lights that I put down close to the education board, and even the light I put up top, the area light, they're actually not bright enough in hindsight. So I might go in and swap them out for something a bit brighter. I wish some of these lights were brighter rather than just being like, they're not even like neon, because neon has that bleed around it. They just kind of, they themselves glow, but they don't affect the objects around them. So I might need to go in and swap them out. You can see over here I'm kind of struggling to select the right pieces, but I finally managed to do that, and now I can replicate it, and I actually decided to go in with 3 sets of education boards. One for deforestation, because evidently that's a big problem for the for tapirs, and sorry, not for tapirs, for tortoises, and another one, I forget what I do with that one. I think it's ecotourism. And then I decide to duplicate the core element over here, but get rid of all the extra pieces, the educational pieces, and the pieces that hold that educational block together, and just create a little bit of a canopy for these eating areas. And what I decided to do is I actually alternate them, again, looking to make some fun and interesting kind of shapes and strange shapes, very modern art and architecture, which is not typically something I'm very fond of, but pretty happy with how it's coming along over here. And then over here as well, decide to pull it over for these benches. I never liked the old canopy. I think I was pretty explicit with that statement when I first put them down. I didn't like the tiling textures. I didn't like the overall shape and all. So this gave me an opportunity to finally swap them out with colors that match the area a bit better, with an interesting shape, with an interesting form. So pretty happy with that. And then you can see I pull in some trees. Again, you know, I feel like I'd probably do a longer beauty pass. Maybe I'll do another beauty pass at one point, but I do pull in some trees and just try to spread them out a little bit, make it for a more interesting walk along. And then I also duplicate the little piece we made here when we did our India entrance. I'm a fan of how that looks, so I decided to duplicate that a couple times over and just spread it around a little bit as well where it made sense. So yeah, did a fair bit of beautification, adding a few more benches here and there where it makes sense. We want to try and keep energy levels up. And the last thing I decided to do over here is make 2 more vendors, because we're getting such massive crowds up front, and I figure it'd be a good idea to get these guys in right now, maybe up our rating, make some more money, maybe up the cost of our entrance ticket as well if we reach the 5-star rating. But I thought this was a necessary last addition, even though it's not technically beautification. I thought it was a necessary last move. But yeah, just getting it capped off and covered, and apart from that, I think we're pretty much ready to roll. Okay, that was like an hour and a half of just futzing around with how things look. Hopefully, it was worth it. I mean, we've got some new education boards, we've got some new lighting and stuff going on, we've changed up how a lot of stuff is looking, and integrated lighting into more of our stuff. People keep losing their balloons real easy in the zoo. So hopefully that'll all look and work nicely. The next time the sun sets and we get some darkness, I might go in and do a little bit of lighting work on some of the typography. But for now, I think we're good to hit play, let time move forward just a little bit more, and then I do want to touch on the Tapir Tavern as well. So let's go ahead and hit play, see how the paths update and everything. It'll take a second for the game to realize what's going on, and let's see if we can make our money back. We didn't spend that much money on that time lapse, so you know that's at least there's that. But also added some more facilities up front, which will hopefully draw some people to pull some people away from those 2 spots. All right, cool. Looks like we're active again. Wonderful. And that, I mean, again, we're spending money on some more vendors and stuff, but I think we'll be fine. Let's go ahead and make sure, actually, some of these vendors get trained. Just because I think it's going to be a problem otherwise. Again, when vendors get trained, they end up with, they end up, what's the word I'm looking for? Serving guests faster. So their throughput's higher. You get more work done. you get more guests served, you make more money. So it's a good idea to train them when the opportunity presents itself. And what I might actually do is, what I'm looking for. Go, train you right up, and train you right up, and let's go ahead and, well, Buddy here isn't really, these guys aren't really all that busy. As I say that, people arrive, but they're really not that busy, so that's okay. Over here, I might level some of these people up. Hopefully they get busy again, because they've been kind of quiet for a while now. Hopefully they get busy again. Let's go ahead and train you. And let's train you as well. All right, I think that's enough training for now. What I wanted to do was, over here, the staff room, I wanted to give it a perk. Because, again, the perks disappear when you reload. I wanted to get the learning resources. While resting in the staff room, staff will learn more about their job, bringing their training date forward. So that should be helpful if I do it across the board. Then no matter which staff room they end up in, they'll get a little bit of training done. There's one back over here as well. Go ahead and do learning resources. And I thought I had one over here. Yes. Go ahead with learning resources. That way, hopefully, at least we'll... I mean, again, it'll cost us some more money, but we'll train them faster. And again, they'll be satisfying our guests a little bit faster as well. Happiness is through the roof right now, so that's great to see. We're just short of being a 5-star. And I think that's just because we are... What are we missing out on here? Thirst. Well, I just added some new drink stalls, so hopefully that'll be solved. Toilet. I could add another toilet, I suppose. I've got the money for it now. God knows I've got the money for it now. So let's go ahead and duplicate you over. Not a part of the group, please. Should be able to fit this in here. Oh, come on. When I was testing it, it worked. But now, all of a sudden, it doesn't want to. Come on, game. Either way, these toilet blocks are probably all too close to each other anyway. I wonder if I shouldn't just seal this off with maybe some more trees or something. Some far-off trees. Now that I look at it. You know, these are actually quite ideal trees. Go ahead and duplicate them. It's not that expensive. Nice and high. They clear our logs over here. Sure, why not? We might get a toilet back there, but we've got them so densely packed. What we need to do is put toilets and stuff in multiple other places rather than collecting them all in one spot, because people don't like traveling. So even if there's a free washroom, it doesn't matter if it's too far away. We got a donation bin here. One thing I should work on over here is education. Education, I'm pretty sure, is not that... Oh, okay, no, we've got a little bit of reach over here. All right, fair enough, fair enough. I was worried that I didn't have a good reach, but we do. What are we looking at? 41 bucks. It's only March. Oh, man, you can see the lag. Frame rate dropping every once in a while. And how are we looking over here? People are moving around. I hope folks come over here. Again, they kind of get drawn in this direction because of the tortoises. We saw some people coming down over here. Yeah, okay, we already started making some money off these guys. Why is there just a giant rock in here? Not exactly what I had in mind there. All right, cool. So that's taken care of. You know what? Another thing I wanted to do, actually. Oh, we don't have names for any of these. Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't have names for any of these, except for Tortoises. That's not good. One thing I did want to do, though, was I wanted to get some more signs down. Gulpy soda. Just because they add a little bit of color. Add a little bit of color. I could do, you know, that. There we go. And this is the chief beef. So I could go ahead and put the chief beef sign over here. Just to get... Yeah, it looks a little bit nicer, I guess. Looks a little bit nicer. Don't know if I need to do it across the board right now. I'll do it for these guys down over here. This is a hot dog squad. And again, if you've got name suggestions, do drop them down below, and I will be implementing them soon. Hopefully in one of the upcoming sessions next week. Get this small sign over here. Up you out a little bit. Go. It's like hanging by the stone there. And a pip shot juice. Got a pip shot juice over here. Definitely got to pull you out a little bit. Pip shot juice. Do that for now. And then a pip shot water over here. Pretty sure that's what this is. Pip shot smoothie. Ah, glad I checked. There we go. And you are the coffee place. I might replace the coffee place only because it's got doesn't have that much traction. We'll see how it looks in winter, but it does not have that much traction. Overall happiness is looking pretty good. Hunger and thirst still issues. Hunger, thirst, and energy. I put a lot of benches down across the zoo. I keep wanting to say park. Put a bunch of benches down. You'd think they'd start using them, maybe. Nothing yet, though, I guess. And money is looking good. What are our expenses? So we are getting some refunds still. I think that's like the last of the people that were unhappy with their visits. Wages are decently manageable. We obviously hired some more people, so that'll go back up again. Marketing, all right, that's fine. Food is fine. Doing okay overall. Doing okay overall. Oh, actually, you know what? I should check what people are saying about the ticket prices. Don't have enough money left. There's an ATM right there, buddy. I could get some more ATMs in, actually. Go ahead and duplicate, get one right over here, and get another one right over here somewhere. Not perfectly symmetrical. Like, need to tuck this in a little bit, which is not a problem. Something like that. Then I can pull this over. There we go. Cool, and that way hopefully people will be able to afford some more things. Time has just flown by. That means you're having a good time. Why are you sad? If time flies by, that means you're having a good time. These guys don't have enough money. They don't want the prices to go up. That's fine. That means you're fine where they are. Are we not queuing? But I want to get something from Grizzly Guzzle. Well, why aren't you queuing? No vendor. Hope that's not a permanent thing. Now this lower area has become a little... Oh no, it is still crowded. I was going to say it's become a little less crowded, but that is not true. It's still crowded. All right, what's the deal over here? We've got Rosa Maria. Whoa, 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 what's escaped? How did you get out of there? Okay, it's adorable. They're running away from this little baby. Here, it's Taper. How did you escape? Oh, were you able to crawl out of there? You were, weren't you? Because I adjusted the terrain there. Oh, okay. Okay, clever, clever. There we go. That should do the trick. Oh, well, I'm going to get some refunds for that. Not welfare, sorry, but there we go. I mean, that looks blocked off. Don't know how it got up there. I mean, babies are... Well, I blocked it off now. Babies are also smaller, so it might have been able to climb up through this area. Fair enough. Well, we've blocked it now. So we're good. We're good. You're thirsty. You're making your way over. I suppose I could spread some more of these water bits around. Oh, do you see that? We went from 4.5 to 4 1/4. Why? Why did our guest count drop as well? We were close to 2K. Now we're down to 1,500. I guess just a matter of time. Good to see people that are coming over here. No one at the ATMs. Are they swapping shifts over here? Well, if you're shifting out, heavy workload, well, let's give you some training, and that should help. I don't like that people can just clip through picnic benches and stuff. It kind of ruins the immersion a little bit for me. For me, at least. I don't know about you guys. Now, people are, yeah, not coming up over here. I wonder if I've overserved this area, or if it's just a matter of the number of guests coming through. Maybe once we get closer to 2K. Like, I don't want to remove any of these, because when we hit the 2K marks and the 2.5K marks, which will hopefully happen at some point, we're going to be... we're going to be hopefully making more money as people come to these locations. More vet research complete. Is that more disease research, I assume? Yep. Let's swap that out for something else. Doing a lot of disease research today. Might as well get these out of the way, right? We've got these high-tier vets. Might as well get it all out of the way. And let's go ahead and see if we can't get... Oh, I love watching them play with their like toys and stuff. On which note, okay, your enrichment is maxed out still. What about the bears? What's your enrichment looking like? Where are we? There we are. You are also maxed out. Good stuff. We've checked the wolves already. We did not check these guys. Look at the baby. Food enrichment's a little low, but that's okay. Don't you dare try to make another break for it. I've got my eyes on you. There we go. Oh, hiding from the rain. What a cutie. What a cutie. It's also really interesting how different the babies and the adults look, actually. Well, in terms of their coat, I guess. Honestly, the ear wiggling, I just cannot get enough of. Can't get enough of the ear wiggling. And oh, look at that. We've got some decent crowds coming down over here, actually. Do we not have a donation bin in here? Might as well put one over here. I don't like how crowded it already is. But hopefully it'll make its money back pretty quickly. Alright, caretaker in there. So wolves, we check. These guys, we check. What's the deal up over here? I haven't checked on these guys in a while. Toy enrichment is basically 0. Right, because I have to remove all of their toys. And what about the bison? Their toy enrichment is fine. Okay, so let's see. Y'all like what? Habitat. Let's go ahead and take a look. Toys for the antelope. Get a rubbing pillar. See if that does the trick. We have one down over here. We can get another one down. Still over here. If that makes him happy. Beautiful. Just the one for now. And again, we got to rotate these out, right? Just got to make sure these animals stay happy. Got to make sure these animals stay happy. This is a lot. The rain is really coming down. The other thing is, so right, I've got the info center up over here, but I wonder if it's actually seeing any action. It's got a vendor. You know what? It has served some guests, so that's promising, I suppose I should say. Promising is the word I'll use. Yeah, let's go with the word promising. All right, sun is still up, rain is gone. Oh no, sun's just about to go down, I think. Yeah, sun's just about to go down. All right. Crowds. I'm just keeping an eye on the crowds up front over here. Animals fighting for alpha status. I don't quite mind that. Alpha status is okay. Fighting for alpha status is completely natural. Unacceptable. All right. No crowds up here, though. Take a look at overall. Oh, we're at 5 3/4, it feels like. That's good. Let's take a look at overall guest needs. Happiness. Why is that still a problem? Is happiness still our key problem? No. Energy. Wow. Do we need more benches? I could make the toilets free. Are we finding litter? Is that the problem right now? We've cleaned up. All right, all those bins have definitely helped with the litter. Ah, hello. All right. Just the one bin. I wonder how many people walk past that and are now upset because of it. Let's see, happiness. Like, what's your problem? You look very happy. Not very satisfied with the Indian P-file view. Gotta use the washroom. Toilet block is busy. Well, there's like 4 of them. Like here. It's not that far away. It's like hardly even a 4-minute walk. 4 minute. That was weird. Oh, because I said 4 of them. I was like, why'd I go with the number 4? It's like hardly even a minute walk. All right, if I put this down over here, could do that. But first, because it's dark now, do I maybe take advantage of this darkness? I wanted to see what the lighting looks like over here. You know what? Yeah, nice subtle green kind of a light. Not too overdone. Like I said, subtle. Over here, we could get a little bit of lighting going. That is not lighting. This is lighting. What kind of lighting? That's the question. I mean, I could get these, like... These are pretty cool, I think. Not very bright. They're just kind of... They glow, but they're not bright, per se. Spotlight is way too bright. Path light. Ew. Something like... No, that's too far away. Something like that. That looks nice. That doesn't really work. But yeah, this looks nice. To light up the Om Nom Nom sign. Get it up like this as well. Nah, I don't think that's worth it. What else do we have? We have Tortu Galapagos. Which we can't really light up. I don't like that it's like in the middle of the path is the only thing. So that doesn't really work for me. What else have we got? We've got these lights as well, of course. Oh, is it time to turn the lights off already? Doesn't feel bright enough. I feel like the lights go off too, like, early compared to when the lights actually need to be turned off. You know what I mean? All right, so what have we got done so far? We've got this entire plaza has got a facelift. We've got some new stalls up. This got a facelift. These rocks all got a facelift. We did some work over here as well. I want to get to the tavern as well. We're at 80K almost. The lighting is not being a friend of mine. Even if I were to turn this, like, lighting thing on, it's really not all that different. Like, you press L to be able to see. Oh, there we go. Sun's up. Sun's up. So let's pause for a second as I'm at 81K. Money's looking good. What could I do over here today? I wanted to make a lot of progress, and I'm going to be frank. I don't know if I'll be able to. What I can do, though, what I can definitely do is I can get some of the facilities down. Now, what would we... Let's take a look at the Zoopedia. I want to make sure this episode isn't ridiculously long either. Like, yes, we all like long episodes. Many of you have said that you like long episodes, which is great. However, I can't just play for like 7 hours straight and throw up a 4-hour video. I'm sure that won't be very pleasing. All right, let's see what our prospects are here. So Tortoises Galapagos has already given us 5-star. Tapir over here, buddy. I hope you're having a good time. I think we just got you up to 100%, didn't we? You're pretty happy. Last meal quality is kind of shoddy, but hopefully that doesn't hit us too hard. Veer over here. How are you feeling, buddy? Feeling pretty good. Meal quality is still not the best, but that's okay. At Yanasi Plains, we've got Charlotte. Charlotte's looking dead over here, taking a little nap. You're fine. You're happy. We might actually have a 5-star review on our hands. Zaire. Oh, so cute. Happy. This might be a good inspection. But, like I was saying, what do we want to get over here? So if we look at the Zoopedia, the tapirs are located where? Africa's, right? So we can get a couple of African... This will be a good... Hold on a second. That's an aardvark. Party, what are you doing? What am I doing here? Baird's tapir. There we go. I was like, yeah, why do I have an Africa animal in my America section? Okay, so we've got Central America over here, Central North America. So we have a lot of options as far as the exhibits are concerned. Gotta get... Well, we already have the hairy scorpion. We could do the golden poison frog and the Goliath bird eater. Oh, that makes me literally shiver. Oh, sorry, let me just double check again real quick. Baird's tapir. All right. Just trying to get a good sense of the areas that they're in. I wish you could use filters here. So you can get the Amazonian giant centipede. Okay. The centipede. And what else? What else? So far it's just the centipede and the golden poison frog. The bird eater. Green iguana we want to do up at Tortugas Galapagos, which I might just do now. Oh, we could get this thing here in here as well, so that's 3. What about a puff adder? Nope. You can tell which animals I'm completely unfamiliar with by which ones I have to check, even though they're obviously not the right animals. Okay, so I can get the yellow anaconda here as well. Even though it's a little out of the region, we do have to get the Americas exhibits and enclosures done. So let's not get... I still want to be picky, obviously, but let's be intelligent with our pickiness. So I want to get a new... Excuse me. To the trade center, please. And let me actually check real quick our animals. Shouldn't have let myself get distracted by this right now. Come on, party. Stick with one thing at a time. Move those animals to the trade center as well. What else have we got? If I can make some quick money here, then might as well do it, right? Still just adults. No one's too old yet. Move the trade center. Good stuff. I mean, none of the animals I'm leaving behind are too old yet. What I meant to say. And over here, Pablo and Teresa. I should just have selected them all in one go as opposed to continually going back and forth between the menus. Okay, there we go. So that should be a good bit of money from our storage. If we select all, that is almost 6K. Beautiful. Wow, we're close to hitting 100K. We really bounced back from our financial issues. And I feel good about that. I feel good about that. All right, small animal exhibit. Let's go ahead and get you down over here. You can fit. Don't you dare tell me you can't fit. I checked this. I checked this. You can fit. Oh, come on, game. Okay, I guess I gotta hook it up in the same group, which is fine. So here I wanted to get the iguana, right? Yeah. Oh, interesting. I hadn't noticed that before. All right, so let's go ahead and first do the iguana. Where are we? Again, it's not alphabetical. There we go. Green iguana. If we check the Zoopedia about them, I'm pretty sure it'll be a 1-to-1 ratio. Yeah. Okay, good stuff. So let's go ahead and get a pair. Sure, I mean, you're the only option. And we can send you in right away. Got to get research going as well. Oh man. Which of these breeds is better? Let's go with you. And you in there as well. So. Looks like we're fine, but the game just wants me to nudge these around a little bit. So there we go. Done. And let's make sure our research is happening as well. Just completed more disease research, I imagine. Yep, that's fine. So, Uma, let's get you on the green iguana. Done. So that's happening. Apart from that, over here, we wanted to get, what, 3 of them, right? So if I were to get 3 of them over here... Oh, it's gonna need me to get rid of the path here and rework. Oh boy. I'm gonna have to get rid of the path so I can plant down the exhibits. And I might need to adjust the stairs as well, actually. Yeah, I need to adjust the stairs to make sure things can fit nicely. Now, if I get rid of the pathing... Always such a scary thing to do in this game, honestly. I don't want to get rid of too much of it, but I think I have to. I guess I could... This is not ideal. This is not ideal. Undo that. All right, fair enough. Sorry, before I forget though, because I realized I just did. Move you over to here. Teaching about the iguana. You're right next to the iguana. Why would you not? Oh, that's weird. Why did it not? I see what's happened. I must have undid it, and when I clicked the redo button, it didn't actually redo. All right, not a problem. Go ahead and get you all done. Excellent. And now we should be able to say green iguana. One on that side and one on this side. And hopefully, I mean, we're going to get a little bit of overlap here, which is a problem. I can nudge you over this way. And then I can duplicate you over this way. No, it's not going to be perfect by any means. Maybe do like at this corner, maybe. Sure, I can do like at this corner. Have it stick out a bit. And put it at that corner as well. There'll be overlap. Now, let's not do that. Let's pull you down over here, though, for this side. And this corner over here. And you will also be about the green iguana. Come on now. Come on now. Come on, game. Work with me here. You know exactly what I want to click on. It'll be like this game. There we go. You up and out over here. Okay, good stuff. And green iguana. Cool. That should be good. Why did I feel like it got darker over the course of me just making these small edits? Yeah, so here's the thing. Tapir Tavern needs Okay, my plan for Tapir Tavern is kind of a whole rework. I don't like this look. I don't like this look. I don't like this feel. I don't like I'm okay with the logs and whatnot, but it's just so repetitive. It's so big and clunky looking. I don't like it. I don't like it. And I'm going to start from the ground up. Almost start from the ground up. There's some things I'm going to be keeping, of course, but there's a lot that I'm going to be changing. And if I'm completely honest, I've been recording for about 3 hours right now, and I'm feeling it. I know I said I wanted to do both. I know I felt like I could take over the world today and do both, but I'm definitely feeling this. What I might try to do, because I know how upsetting that can be, what I can try and do is maybe get a Sunday special with Planet Zoo and focus just on the tavern for that special. So it'd be a shorter episode, but we just work on the tavern so we can get it done and we can move on to other aspects of the zoo. I think that's what I need to do. We've made a lot of progress today. I'm pretty happy with the moves we've made. We've prettified, beautified some elements of the zoo at least. I'm pretty happy with how some of the new elements are looking. Exhibit has no... Oh, right, of course. What do we need to do? We need to go ahead and put you into a work zone. Got distracted there. America's South it will be. And add you in. Should add you guys into here as well. And the ATMs. I keep forgetting about the ATMs needing work zones. I guess the mechanics need to keep them repaired. Done. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the progress we've made today. The unfortunate reality is that, yes, it seems that we do need... What is your problem? How are you not in the ideal temperature? I thought... Oh, I see. I see. Drop you right down. Let's make sure these guys are happy. A little bit more. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the progress we've made today. Frame rate's dropping now as well. Where is the... Oh, there it is. I was like, where is the iguana? There it is. We got ourselves a new animal as well. I've noticed many of you don't count the exhibit animals as animals. They're animals too. They're animals too. Nonetheless, folks, I do think this is where I'm going to call it a session. Again, not a promise, but I will try to get maybe a Sunday surprise episode in with Tapir Tavern so we can get that done and then move on to India and the tiger enclosure, which is the next animal, the next big animal that I'm looking to add is the tiger enclosure. I've got some grand ideas for it and I can't wait to execute. But yes, definitely want to finish old before we start anew. Hope you enjoyed this session. If you did, you know what to do. Let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. It's always very helpful to me in ascertaining what I should do more or less of on the channel and how I should go about doing it. A massive thanks, as always, goes out to all of my channel members and patrons for supporting the channel on a monthly basis to keep us alive and running smoothly, and a big ol' thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, which again might be Sunday, which is, 24 hours from the release of this video. If not, maybe I'll do a Monday episode. I'll try and do an episode before the next scheduled episode. But otherwise, it'll be Tuesday, if I, for some reason, am not able to do that. So whenever it is, until next time, cheers.